Welcome to Gridified, the channel where everything gets organized and explained. Mushrooms are some of the most fascinating ingredients in the world. They come in countless shapes, textures, and flavors, and they're used in cuisines across nearly every culture. Some are mild and everyday staples, while others are rare gourmet ingredients prized by chefs. In this video, we're breaking down some of the most popular edible mushrooms and explaining what makes each one unique. Let's get into the grid. White button mushrooms are the most widely consumed mushrooms in the world and are the variety most people picture when they think of mushrooms. They belong to the species Agaricus bisperus, the same species that also produces cremini and portobello mushrooms at different stages of maturity. Harvested when they are young, they have small, round caps, short stems, and a pale white color. Their flavor is very mild, which is one reason they are so popular because they blend easily into many different dishes without overpowering other ingredients. They are usually grown in controlled indoor farms, where temperature and humidity are carefully managed. In cooking, they are extremely versatile and can be eaten raw in salads, sautéed with butter and garlic, added to pasta sauces, mixed into soups, or used in casseroles. Because they are affordable, easy to find, and adaptable to many recipes, white button mushrooms have become a staple ingredient in kitchens around the world. Cremini mushrooms, often called baby bella mushrooms, are simply a more mature stage of the same species as white button mushrooms. As they grow, the caps darken to a deeper brown color and the flavor becomes richer and more earthy. Cremini mushrooms are harvested before reaching full maturity, making them larger and firmer than white button mushrooms but smaller than portobellos. This stage gives them a stronger mushroom flavor while still maintaining a smooth texture when cooked. They hold their shape well during cooking, which makes them useful in roasted vegetable dishes, pasta sauces, risottos, and soups. Many cooks prefer cremini mushrooms because they provide deeper flavor without dramatically changing the texture of a dish. Their place in the growth cycle from white button to cremini to portobello shows how the same mushroom species can develop very different culinary uses depending on when it is harvested. Portobello mushrooms represent the fully mature stage of the same species that produces white button and cremini mushrooms. At this stage, the mushroom grows very large with a broad, flat cap that can reach several inches across. The underside reveals dark gills and the mushroom develops a dense, meaty texture that makes it especially satisfying when cooked. Because of this texture, portobello mushrooms are often used as a vegetarian alternative to meat in many dishes. A grilled portobello cap is commonly served as a burger patty or stuffed with vegetables, cheese, and herbs. The flavor is deeper and more robust than its younger versions, delivering a rich umami taste that becomes even stronger when roasted or grilled. Their large size also makes them visually striking on a plate, which is one reason they are frequently used in restaurant dishes. Shiitake mushrooms are one of the most famous mushrooms in Asian cuisine and have been cultivated for centuries, particularly in Japan and China. They grow naturally on hardwood trees and have umbrella-shaped caps that range from light brown to dark brown. Shiitake mushrooms are known for their strong savory flavor, often described as smoky, earthy, and rich in umami. This powerful taste makes them a key ingredient in many dishes, such as soups, stir-fries, noodle bowls, and broths. Shiitake mushrooms are sold both fresh and dried, with the dried version being especially popular because drying intensifies their flavor. When rehydrated, dried shiitake mushrooms also produce a flavorful soaking liquid that can be used in cooking. Because of their bold taste and long culinary history, shiitake mushrooms remain one of the most important mushrooms in global cuisine. Oyster mushrooms are named for their shape, which resembles the curved shell of an oyster. These mushrooms grow in layered clusters and have smooth, fan-shaped caps that can appear white, gray, or light brown, depending on the variety. Oyster mushrooms have a delicate texture and a mild flavor with slightly sweet and earthy notes. Because they cook quickly and absorb seasonings easily, they are widely used in many cuisines, particularly in Asian cooking. They are commonly stir-fried, added to soups, or sautéed with vegetables and noodles. When cooked at high heat, oyster mushrooms can develop lightly crisp edges while remaining tender inside. Their gentle flavor and soft texture have made them one of the most widely cultivated gourmet mushrooms. King oyster mushrooms are the largest member of the oyster mushroom family and are easily recognized by their thick stems and smaller caps. Unlike many mushrooms where the cap is the primary focus, the stem of the king oyster mushroom is the most valued part because it has a dense, meaty texture. This firm structure allows it to hold its shape during cooking, making it ideal for grilling, roasting, or pan-searing. When sliced into thick rounds, the stem can resemble scallops in both appearance and texture, which is why it is sometimes used as a plant-based seafood substitute. The flavor is mild but savory, allowing the mushroom to absorb marinades and sauces very well. Because of this versatility, king oyster mushrooms have become increasingly popular in vegetarian and vegan cooking. Enoki mushrooms have a very distinctive appearance compared to most other mushrooms. They grow in long, thin stems with tiny caps, forming delicate clusters that resemble bundles of noodles. In the wild, Enoki mushrooms are darker in color, but cultivated varieties are grown in low-light conditions to keep them pale white and slender. Enoki mushrooms have a mild flavor and a crisp texture that remains slightly crunchy even after cooking. They are commonly used in Japanese, Korean, and Chinese cuisine, especially in soups, ramen, and hot pot dishes. Because they cook quickly, they are usually added near the end of the cooking process. Their unusual shape and light texture make them visually distinctive while still adding a pleasant bite to many dishes. Shiitake mushrooms grow in large, ruffled clusters that resemble feathers or overlapping leaves. The name shiitake comes from Japanese and is often translated as dancing mushroom, reflecting how excited people were when discovering them in the wild. These mushrooms have a strong, earthy flavor and a rich aroma that becomes even more pronounced when cooked. Their texture is tender, with slightly chewy layers that crisp along the edges when roasted or sautéed. Shiitake mushrooms are often used in soups, stir-fries, rice dishes, and pasta recipes because their flavor holds up well alongside other ingredients. Their unique appearance and bold flavor have made them popular in gourmet cooking around the world. Morel mushrooms are among the most prized wild mushrooms in the world and are easily recognized by their distinctive honeycomb-like caps. The surface of the mushroom is covered in a pattern of ridges and pits that gives it a sponge-like appearance. Morels usually grow in forests during the spring and are often found near certain types of trees. Because they are difficult to cultivate commercially, most morels are harvested in the wild, which makes them relatively rare and often expensive. Their flavor is rich, nutty, and earthy, making them highly valued in gourmet cooking. They are commonly sautéed in butter or added to cream sauces where their distinctive flavor can shine. Chanterelle mushrooms are known for their bright golden color and elegant trumpet-shaped caps. They grow naturally in forests around the world and are especially common in parts of Europe and North America. Chanterelles have a delicate flavor that is often described as slightly fruity with hints of pepper and earthiness. Their texture is firm but tender, allowing them to hold their shape during cooking. Because of their refined flavor and beautiful appearance, chanterelles are commonly used in high-end dishes, particularly in European cuisine. They are often sautéed with butter and herbs or added to creamy pasta dishes and risottos. Porcini mushrooms are highly valued in Italian and European cooking for their deep, nutty flavor and thick, meaty texture. They have broad brown caps and sturdy stems that give them a substantial appearance compared to many other mushrooms. Fresh porcini mushrooms are delicious when sautéed or grilled, but they are also widely sold in dried form. Drying concentrates their flavor, making them extremely aromatic and powerful in cooking. When rehydrated, the soaking liquid can also be used as a flavorful broth in soups, sauces, and risottos. Because of their intense flavor, even small amounts can dramatically enhance a dish. Wood ear mushrooms are thin, dark mushrooms that grow on trees and resemble the shape of a small ear, which is where their name comes from. Unlike many other mushrooms, wood ear mushrooms are valued more for their texture than their flavor. When cooked, they become slightly crunchy and gelatinous, adding a unique bite to dishes. These mushrooms are widely used in Chinese cuisine, especially in stir-fries, noodle dishes, and soups such as hot and sour soup. They are often sold dried and then rehydrated before cooking. Once soaked in water, they expand and regain their soft but slightly crisp texture, making them a useful ingredient for adding contrast in many recipes. And that was every edible mushroom explained. From everyday mushrooms like white buttons and cremini to gourmet varieties like morels and chanterelles, Each one brings its own texture, flavor, and culinary tradition. Whether they're sautéed, roasted, grilled, or added to soups, mushrooms continue to be one of the most versatile ingredients in cooking. If you enjoy seeing foods and ideas organized and explained like this, make sure to subscribe to Gridified for more videos where we break down everything, one grid at a time. And if there's another topic you want to see explained next, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.